Good morning. This is TMI Socials. Let's talk what's trending on social media. I am Anu Stevens. Or better still call me a social media butterfly. Now, social media has been buzzing with Annie Macaulay, or should I say Annie Idibia versus Tuface's story. Well, just in case you missed it, Nigerian singer Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Tuface, has announced his divorce or divorce from his wife of 12 years, Annie Macaulay. Well, Tuface took to Instagram to state that he and Annie, who shares 2 kids with, have been separated for a while now and recently filed for a divorce. So all of this saga started with Tuface releasing a tweet, if we could have the tweet now, where he actually stated all of that on Instagram. Yeah, so that was the tweet. He posted his tweet, and then later on again we saw that still on Tuface's page he said his phone has been hacked. But interestingly, he posted a video to actually prove that he did all the typing himself. Let's take a look at Tuface's video.
So every relationship has their different thing going, but the one thing that is common, the one thing that is never going to change is the fact that every relationship is always going to have their ups and downs, and then love and trust should keep you. The truth is, the way love is there, it becomes a choice afterwards. If you've chosen to be committed to this person, you got to stay that way.
Now by the grace of God now. By the grace of God, that's the only secret I can say.
I think what comes to our mind, before we even, whenever we fight, we start our conversation like he always starts. I'm very upset with you, I will never ever leave you, but blah blah blah. And I do the same thing too. I love you, I will never leave you, but blah blah blah, and we fight. Bottom line is, no matter how much we fight, when I mean fight, I don't mean physical fight.
So now, trust social media users and social media online in-laws, they had to dig up an old video of Annie preferring love to Tuface and actually offering relationship advice. Now, let's move over to a couple of reactions to this story, because interestingly, a lot of reactions have been trailing the story. Yesterday, we saw that Annie has been, gone sent to rehab, and Toke and Tiwa actually taking care of her. This story is really, truly sad at this point. Well, Okafor on Facebook says, while Mr. Bill Gates is regretting his divorce with his former wife, another couple is here seeking for a divorce. The area, our people understand that divorce is cancer, better for us. I am seeing Western world standing on their feet again in areas of marriage, Christianity, etc. Why we Africans going back to divorce and idol worship? Okay, another user has something else to say, and this one says, now I can understand the video of Annie and Tuface I saw in December. Annie looked so out of sorts and displaced. Annie, a good woman, an understanding wife. She sacrificed a lot and took everything, every shame because of love. She deserves the best in the world. This is a really sad story. Well, one more take on the story from those users. Then they say that there is a Japanese legend that says if you get on the wrong train, get off at the nearest station. The longer it takes you to get off, the more expensive the return trip will be. And then finally, Superwoman Ninja on Instagram says, dear women, if you don't leave a man when you should, he will break you into pieces and walk away when you have become a shadow of yourself. Well, away from the entertainment saga, let's move over to some other stories where we saw the former President Muhammadu Buhari come out to say something interesting yesterday. Well, he says he lives on money right now earned from renting one of his houses, or 2 of his houses in Kaduna State, tasking leaders on transparency and accountability as guiding principles while in office. Buhari said he did not corruptly enrich himself as president, insisting that Nigeria was a difficult country to govern because of its complexities. He disclosed this in Hausa while addressing the All Progressive Congress APC meeting held at the Presidential Banquet of the Government House in Katsina on Saturday, ahead of the forthcoming local government elections in the state. And of course, social media users reacted to this story. Let's have a couple of tweets on this one. Now, this user says, he is actually correct. Nigeria is indeed a difficult country to govern, and that's because God has not taken these evil elements out. Another user says, I enjoyed Empowerment for 3 years during your tenure. Long life, Baba. Only God can change Nigeria for good. Well, still in the story, let's get other take. Well, Prof says, we listen, we don't judge. One more reaction from this beat, and this user says, I thought the aim was to serve. Were you expecting to become a wealthy? Like, why are you complaining over the fact that you do not have money? Now, away from former President Muhammadu Buhari, let's see a viral video of Peter Obi lamenting on the current situation of the economy. Take a look.
It is about serving the people, and that is most critical.
Your Excellency, the issue is that these conversations have been on for quite a long time.
It is now time for us to take action, because you can see where it brought us to. We now live in an insecure country. We now live in a country that is every day breeding poverty. People are suffering. So many people don't know where the next meal will come from. We now live in a system where on Friday, I visited, on day of celebration of education, I visited 15 schools where children don't even have a lab, talk less of one computer. That's what democrats have brought to us. And we must deal with it head on.
How will you say this administration is doing? How will you say this administration?
It is for you to rate it by going to market. I don't need to rate it for you. It is for you to rate it. If you go to market, then you rate it yourself.
Your Excellency, the issue of political party structures also came up during the discussion.
Very critical.
So now, how...
It's very clear what has been said, that we don't have members. We have owners of political parties. Parties should be, the core of democracy should start from the political parties, where people respect and know that other people exist. It is not a place where you attack the process.
How did you react to this story? Let's have a couple of feels on this one, where we saw Peter Obi being questioned, and then he said, go to the market and see things for yourself, then you know the plight of Nigerians. Well, this user on Twitter says, of X now, only one person is consistent about the pains of ordinary Nigerians. How long can a man fake it? Peter Obi is too real. Another user says something else. Well, Italian man, well, you can't change the narrative from outside. You have to win the election to change that. And in Nigeria, elections are won in a crooked way. Really? One more take on this bit would be from this user, data analyst, who says, Obi has said the truth. Of the truth, a lot of people don't know where their next meal will come from. Now, finally, as we tend to wrap up TMI Socials today, remember the story of an alleged gospel singer who beheaded his girlfriend in Abuja? Well, he has come out to say he is not guilty of the offense, and got actually all of Nigerians talking. Well, gospel singer Timile Ajayi, the suspected murderer of Salome, has pleaded not guilty to the killing of the National Youth Service Corps member died a few weeks ago at his residence. Well, the Nasarawa State Police Command arrested him on January 12th and charged him to court for homicide punishable with death. And this got social media users talking and giggling regarding the story. Well, not necessarily giggling though, but complaining about the outcome of this particular sad story. Let's have tweets on what you have been saying. Well, Daniel says on X, may peace be far from the lawyers representing that killer, Timile Ajayi. Well, another user says, and I get to read, let's see another tweet on the story. Okay, so Adamu says, she didn't just die at his residence. He massacred her in cold blood and butchered her. What nonsense of a report is this? Okay, well, one more take as we tend to round things up. Abdul Aziz says, calling someone that has already confessed that he killed the girl and he doesn't regret his action. A suspect is stupidity. Learn to see a spade as a spade. Well, this is an ongoing conversation and we will hopefully keep you up to speed with the latest of things. Philip.
Yeah, good stories there, I must say. Always titillating, knowing that you've got it on top of your game. But one day, maybe we're going to make stories of ourselves on how it's going to be like. Well, so much on today's episode of TMI. Do well to catch up with us sometime tomorrow. I am Philip Omo Gupo. Goodbye.